Woo, look at that. I just got a disc. This was the Batman v Superman DVD. It's called the Ultimate Edition, and it has some more stuff in it. I'm gonna review it for you. I got a special one. It was from a store called HMV, and they had in it this book thingy. I'll see if I can see that. Just got some pictures and stuff. I think it was a little bit more monies for this one, but this version of the movie has some more stuff in it than the one I've seen in the theater. And some of the things was good because some people were like, well, why did all those villagers think that Superman killed them? And this kind of explained it because it had him, the bad guy, burn them up. So you saw that, oh, okay, so maybe they thought that he used his eye thingies to cook them, like hot dogs. So that one was good. Some of the fight sequences were a little bit extended, which was okay. But then there was some of the other things that was a bit confusing. Like, okay, so they had Lex Luthor's guys, I guess, the bad guys at the beginning, and that made sense. But then there was some other group of guys who were like firing a rocket at them, and they were gonna blow it up, but Superman flew. Like, it looked cool. It looked cool to see Superman blow up the rocket, but then it was like, if you'd seen it like that for the first time, it would not be as good as the way they did it in the theater, because for one thing, it wasn't it was a cool reveal of Superman just smashing in through the thing. But also it was a bit confusing. It was like, okay, so who's sending this rocket? Because Lex Luthor wouldn't want that, because his guys just made it look like Superman did it, so he wouldn't want the bomb there because that would obliterate everything. And the government, who are all mad at Superman when they think that he killed them, well, he wouldn't do it. Or the CIA, who sent Jimmy Olsen there to get killed, they wouldn't have did it, because why would they kill a bunch of innocent? Because Lois Lane was there, and they would have known that. So why would the CIA kill Lois Lane? It just didn't make sense. So that part just added more to the confusion. But speaking of Jimmy Olsen, they did explain more about him, because in the other version, they didn't really. It was kind of suggested that he was Jimmy Olsen, but this one they kind of introduced him to Lois. So he's like, "Oh, hi, I'm Jimmy Olsen," and then he dies. So that was just confirmed. There was other things in it that there was like Affleck's butt, and there was one guy said the F word instead of whatever it was he said in the movie. I mean, Affleck's got a nice bum and everything, but it seems like they just put that in there so that they could say, "Oh, it's R-rated." It's like, yeah, no one really wants to see. I mean, maybe a little bit of me wants to see Affleck's bum, but you can see it better in other movies anyway. So I don't want to see it in my Superman movie. Is my point. So that was kind of dumb. What else? There was one scene where they captured Lex Luthor, and this one was on the internet, and it showed this alien weird thing. I think that's just more like hints towards the next movie, whatever that's gonna be. There was one other thing they did. They extended that I can't remember. Or there was a little bit more of Clark Kent kind of chasing after information about kind of Batman and one of the bad guys that got sent into prison, and then they showed him getting stabbed again. It felt kind of unnecessary, but But I guess it was Clark Kent kind of going and figuring out more about Batman, and that kind of was building up towards the. That was actually good because it. What I wanted from the movie was for Batman and Superman to not like each other. How the differences of how they did things, and it never really explained why Superman didn't like what Batman did. So this kind of did that a little bit more.
What are you doing, Randy?
I'm just reviewing the Ultimate Edition, Garrett. It's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. So, Garrett, I'm going to kill you in a second here. Garrett. So they extended the thing where the scene where it blowed up the that government building, which was it was both good and bad because it was good because it shows Superman helping out afterwards. So it's like, okay, because when I first watched it, it was like, well, everyone's going to think that Superman had something to do with this. But then it showed Superman helping them. So it's like, okay, well, that's maybe why they didn't blame him for it. But then they added in all these news footage scenes where they were blaming Superman for it. So it's like, it was okay, but it almost added more confusion to the movie than there was already there. And it sure didn't clear up any of kind of Lex Luthor's like what he was up to and why he hated Superman and why he knew their identities and all that kind of stuff. So it was. And the other thing that annoyed me, the features on the DVD, not that good. I mean, I would have liked it for them to be there to be like a little introduction of this is all the new scenes and this is why we put it there. Maybe a audio commentary to talk you through it or something, but there was barely anything. Like the features on this, kind of crappy actually. There was a couple documentaries like, oh, this is the history of Superman and this is the comics when Superman and Batman fight each other. And there was like a feature on Lex Luthor, and it was basically just saying, this is why it's good how we did Lex Luthor, even though everyone knows it is not good how you did Lex Luthor. So, who are you trying to fool here? I mean, you're not even fooling my cute little cat. Even she knows better than that. Oh, and they moved around one scene too. I noticed there was the scene where Lois Lane goes and talks to the Swanwick guy about the bullet she founded. That they changed it to a different part of the scene of the movie slightly. Like they bumped it over a couple scenes. I'm not really sure why they did that, but they did that for sure. Bye, kitty. Have fun wherever it is you're going. Away. Now Randy's gonna fly away. Bye.